Hi guys, if you're a regular follower of mine, you might be thinking, Vivien, haven't you already told us all about beta readers? Do you have amnesia or something? No, I don't. At least I think I don't, but would I really know that if I did? At the request of one of my viewers, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to cover this topic. Why? Because I'm calling all beta readers. I'm taking submissions right now for beta readers for my novel, The Elysian Prophecy. And that's linked down below, so this will be my guide to my own beta readers. It's perfect, right? If you're a writer and you're wondering why in the world you should use beta readers, go ahead and check out my other video, also linked down below. I'm gonna have a ton of stuff linked down below. For those of you that need a refresher, beta readers are those people who see your novel before you send it off to editors. They are people that look at your novel as a reader. So after a writer finishes their first draft, they'll go through and make their own edits and get it as good as they possibly can before sending it off to a group of beta readers. These people will give them feedback on what's working and what's not working, and then they'll incorporate those edits into their manuscript and then send it off to a professional editor. Some writers do this and they don't even know it. Do you ask for feedback from your mom or your sister or your brother or your loved one or your parents or anybody? Then you're already using betas and you just don't know it. However you decide to do it, here are my top tips for being an awesome beta reader. Number 1, be honest. I'm not talking about feedback here, but this also does apply to your feedback. I mean, be honest in your ability to complete the beta reading tasks. Most writers will be working with some sort of schedule. If you know that you've got a week of finals and a wedding to attend and you're moving to a new state, then don't volunteer. Yes, it stinks you're not gonna be able to beta read their manuscript, but be honest, you know you're not gonna have the time to do it. However interested in that story you might be, it's frustrating to a writer when they need to keep on their own schedule. If you have things pop up while you're beta reading and you're afraid you're not gonna be able to complete the whole manuscript, go ahead and let the writer know. Just don't leave them hanging. Even if you're afraid they're gonna be upset for some reason. Them knowing is better than just thinking that you dropped off the face of the earth. They can better plan for it and replace you if need be. Number 2, follow the rules. Once you're accepted as a beta reader, pay particular attention to any guidelines that the writer has set forth. If they want to perform communication over Facebook chat, then you better get your little booty over to Facebook. If you prefer Twitter chat and they're not up for that, then too bad. You have to remember that writers sometimes go through 10, 20 beta readers and they have to coordinate everybody together. So you can probably imagine how difficult it would be if you had different methods of communication with each one of your betas. Most of us are pretty well versed in communication these days, so this isn't really too much of an issue. Some other rules might include age restrictions, or genre restrictions, that you actually like to read a certain genre, editing in Microsoft Word versus Google Documents, or answering specific questions at the end of each chapter. If your writer only wants feedback on structural items, then don't go highlighting every typo that you find. Number 3, explain. Every observation that you make about a novel should come with a detailed explanation of why you feel that way. Don't like a main character? You're not helping if that's all you say. You need to give reasons why you don't like the character. Do you hate how he treats women? Then tell the writer. You were drafted as a beta reader to help identify issues that degrade the story overall. Saying that you hate a description of a city doesn't help the writer to rectify that fact. Never leave out an explanation. As a beta reader, your comments should highlight a way to fix the novel, not just say what you do or do not like about it. Make sure you tell the writer exactly your thoughts on the chapter or the characters. Number 4, don't be a jerk. Are you really not digging this chapter, or worse, the entire manuscript? There's no need to bash everything that writer's ever done in their entire life. Keep those comments to yourself, because guess what? You signed up to help. Are you being helpful if you tell them that they're a waste of precious oxygen and that they should just go jump off a bridge? No, because you signed up to make their writing better. That doesn't have anything to do with their writing. Don't use the anonymity of a screen to make these hateful comments. You're not helping the writer and you're just making yourself seem like a jerk. We're all professionals, so just treat people with courtesy. Number 5, prepare to learn. If you're a writer, beta reading can teach you a lot about writing if you put the effort into it. Any beta reading I have ever done has always made me a better writer. Have you ever heard of somebody saying that you can learn more by teaching somebody else something? That's because not everybody thinks the same way, and when you teach it to somebody else, they're gonna have different questions than what you had. They're gonna go through different things than you did. A writer may make mistakes that you've never noticed you do in your own writing. You're reading a manuscript that you're not personally invested in. So any of those mistakes that you find will be better highlighted because your emotions aren't attached to it. Also, you may research a grammar rule or two in the process or some writing rules. So just be prepared to learn. Number 6, Pet peeves. If you hate the word behoove, and I do because I had an English teacher that used it way too much, then don't bash the writer for using it. You're weird. We're all weird. Don't push your weird little tics onto other people that are perfectly okay with using that word because they didn't have the same teacher that I did. If you're worried that some of your pet peeves might influence the feedback that you give, then let the writer know. For example, if you hate a character Patrick because he reminds you of a boy that you kissed in middle school and you regretted, and then there's a kissing scene and you have to comment on it, go ahead and tell the writer, hey, by the way, I have this comment to make, but I'm also biased because this. Tell them how you feel, but also tell them that you might not represent the general population of the entire Earth. So just check most of those weird little tics at the door, unless it's something that most people tend to hate, like the word moist. I'm wondering right now how many of you are cringing. Number 7, read it twice. Read first as a reader and then as a beta reader. On your first pass through a chapter, read it as if it's from a published novel that's already out there in the world. Let yourself get lost in the characters and their stories, and don't analyze the writing. This is where you typically see the broader issues, like if a character's behavior was unrealistic or if the pacing was off in the chapter, or it was staccato or something. Your second pass through should be with your editor's hat on. If it's what the writer wants, be sure to point out things that stick out to you, like awkward phrasing or descriptions that you didn't understand, sections that you think should be cut. Yes, it might take a little longer to go through it 2 times, but you'll be helping out the writer so much more doing it this way. Plus, if you're not able to get lost in it the first time around, that's something that you could tell the writer. Number 8, give praise where it's due, of course. If you had siblings growing up, you know that it was okay for you to make fun of your dorky sister, but it was never okay for anybody else to do it. Writers feel the same way. It's a demon that most of us have to wrestle with when we receive criticism or critiques. Same thing. So if you think a writer absolutely nailed it with a description or made you laugh out loud, then tell them. Don't hold out on those little gems because it just might keep them from crying themselves to sleep that night. But don't make disingenuous comments. Don't praise for the sake of praise. Just be sure to tell them, hey, I really like this, instead of trying to pick it apart all the time. Number 9, enjoy it. Beta reading can be an extremely satisfying endeavor. Knowing that you've helped somebody perfect a published work feels amazing. Holding that book in your hands after it's published makes you feel like you had some small part in getting it out into the world. It has a piece of you now, and that's awesome. Most beta readers are or want to be writers themselves, so it's gratifying to know that you're taking a part in the publication process of a novel. Learn from it. Enjoy these conversations that you're having with the writer, and most importantly, help them, because what better reward is there than helping someone else? All right, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because I post new writing videos every Wednesday. There's only 9 tips because I couldn't come up with a 10th one, so I'm challenging all of you to come up with a 10th tip for me. If you've ever used beta readers or if you've ever beta read for somebody, just come up with a 10th tip for me on what you think makes a good beta reader. Again, the link is down below to go ahead and sign up to be one of my beta readers. That beta reading process should start tentatively about the 21st of September. That's my goal right now. Go ahead and check out all the other videos that I have on my channel. If you find something on there that I haven't covered and you would like me to cover, just go ahead and drop a line down below. Bye guys.